Welcome to the Achieve Goals Fast Challenge by stepping into your superpower identity. Welcome to day 2. Who's ready for a powerful day? Turn your cameras on so we can see your radiant and luminous smiling faces. Good to be with you, Michael. Good to be with you, Kamal. Good to be with you, Jillian, Simon, Diane, Lori. Hello, Carmen, Shifra, Jack. Good to be with you, Julie. Blessings, Fritz, Mark, Darren, everyone. Ella, where is your energy? Where's your state coming into day 2? If you were to share it in the chats in 1 or 2 words to describe the frequency that you're in, how would you describe it? I'm curious to hear. Karen's excited, feeling good. Level 9, awesome, Fritz. Fantastic. So yesterday was day 1 and we had a powerful day and we came to realize that there's a formula, yes, to stepping into our highest self, stepping into our superpower identity. That formula begins with our physiology. Where's your physiology right now? Check in. Okay. On a scale from 0 to 10, 10 being supreme. And then our language, the way we communicate with ourselves. And we're going to go deeper into this today. Also, our focus on our beliefs. And it's awesome to know we have this teaching, isn't it? Yes, and we came to know how important it is to structure our goals wisely, to make sure they're smart, specific, relevant, and time bound, and also that we have them well formed. And the questionnaire gave you a lot of support to make sure that happens. And there were still questionnaires coming in yesterday. We had about 20% of you send them in last night. So, and we came into awareness of coming into alignment with universal law, so that we can facilitate greater flow in the fulfillment of our goals and dreams, which means you're in the perfect place at the perfect time, right here and right now, for a breakthrough. Who's ready for some breakthroughs today? Breakthroughs in the house? Awesome. So who's been feeling breakthroughs happening since we've begun? I'd love to hear. If you've been having some breakthroughs in the house, let's honor those breakthroughs right now. And go ahead and just put a B in the chats, recognizing those breakthroughs. We had a lot of breakthroughs that were shared in the VIP session. And what I'd love to do is just for a few moments, who's had some breakthroughs? Let me take a look. Tom, I see you raising your hand over there. Diane, I see you raising your hand. Who's had some breakthroughs? Put your hand emoji up if you've had some breakthroughs. Hand emoji goes up in recognition of your breakthroughs. Diane, I'm going to start with you. And what we'll do is we'll just share breakthroughs for about 5 minutes or so. And then we're going to dive into today's teaching, which I'm going to give you a teaching on the understanding the prime directives of the subconscious mind as it relates to goal achievement. And then we're going to really go deeper into understanding what is it that's driving you at the deepest levels of your own subconscious mind, your values, your belief systems, identity. We're going to go into that. And then I'm going to give you a powerful teaching on questions to accelerate goal achievement. So you walk away very clear. You're already clear on that goal with techniques today to accelerate that goal achievement. So in January 22nd, at the end of January, we're celebrating. We're having a group celebration. So Diane, go ahead and share. I had called on you first. What was that breakthrough? And here's a great way to share breakthroughs. In the past, this is what was happening. Then I had this awareness, and moving forward, here's what's different.
In the past, I was fighting myself. I thought that was the fuel needed. And I'm realizing that I can just soften and let go and simplify it and just walk through my path and not forge through it again and again and again, kind of like bleeding at the end. So now it's just simple.
I love that exhale. And how does it feel to know that?
Yeah, peace of mind,
Awesome.
peace of body. Because in the past, I had those health issues for 3 years.
I remember.
And I can understand that my body in the past was so tangled up and coiled up, and now it's in release mode.
I love it. So moving forward, it's more grace is what I'm hearing in your voice.
Yeah. Grace, softness,
Awesome.
trust, knowingness,
I love this.
believing, and I think trusting in my path and trusting in life, and that whenever I get there, I'm going to be okay.
I love this. And you've been seeing, you've been implementing this and you've been on the journey. And what have you seen just in the last few months, just briefly before we go to the next breakthrough?
Breathing, enlightenment, deep understanding, liking myself, listening to the inside Diane, and understanding that I'm not the past.
You know
So
what I love about
reducing the stories.
you know what I love about what you're sharing is everything you're sharing is about the inner game. Who could hear the inner game in Diane's share?
Mhm.
And as she's sharing about this alignment that's unfolding in her inner game, she's being, she hasn't shared the manifestation of what's been happening in the external world, but we've been watching her business has been growing. She's gaining more clients. She's scaling her business, and it's a result of these inner practices. So give Diane some love.
Thank you.
So much love. Okay, we got time to share just one or two more breakthroughs. If you've got a breakthrough and you'd love to be witnessed, notice how ultra, ceremonies have a witness. So we want to witness you in your breakthroughs and transformation. You can go ahead and raise your hand emojis, and we'll be happy to take a couple breakthroughs before we dive in. Shifra, in the past, this is what was happening. Then this happened. Here's what's different.
I did not expect to be called on. Oh, wow.
What I'd love to do is, and if someone hasn't shared yet, I'd love, because a lot of times we have the same people that share, which is great. We love everyone to share, but if someone hasn't shared, we'd love to give everyone a voice. So please
I hope
raise your
this
hand and
makes
give yourself an
sense.
opportunity. So go ahead, Shifra. In the past, here's what's going on.
And I hope
What's
this makes sense. Yes. In the past, I stayed stuck in my, how do you say, you say the word pre-substation, how do you substation, how do you say that word?
Okay, so in the past you were stuck, then what changed?
I realized that those were just, that was a choice to stay in that stuckness.
Okay.
Even though I had an awareness of the stuckness, I was still choosing the stuckness.
I think choosing is a powerful word to say choosing. So
well, I think it was subconsciously I was choosing, not even consciously that I was choosing. And so something yesterday, and I don't even remember your exact word, but something in yesterday just shifted that. It's like, I get it.
What's different now in light of this awareness?
Well, just because I have an awareness, I have to still be conscious of the fact that go even deeper in. Just because it's out here doesn't mean that I don't need to pay attention of what's in here. Because something is stuck inside of me.
Are you experiencing something stuck inside of you now?
No.
Okay, so something that was a was.
Something that was. And so I feel like this release.
Awareness. Okay, I'm seeing that in your body. Who's seeing more of a sense of
expansion?
I love this. Okay.
And lightness. I had it just clicked yesterday. It had a big
I love that.
And I've been in like all your different courses, and I've heard you say that word a gazillion times, and it just wasn't clicking with me. So in the past, it wasn't clicking and even understanding. And something you said yesterday, just like a light bulb went off.
Okay, awesome. Give Shifra some love. So now just think of what you will do different in light of this new awareness. Give her some love. Give her some energy.
You.
Yeah. All right, we'll take one more share and then we're going to dive into today's teaching. Ila. And share the breakthrough just to keep it succinct. In the past, this is what was happening.
Yes.
Then I had this awareness, and here's what's different. So we can share that and be mindful.
I had such a big blind spot because I thought the world I'm living in will block me. It might block me. And I was not aware that just by shifting the focus that there might be a benefit coming from this world. And additionally, after a wonderful meditation with Josh, I didn't only had a click, it was a like this, and it was really like this. This is rare. This doesn't happen very often. And I was just like, maybe it isn't block. It will not block me. I just think it will block me.
In the past,
I said, thank you.
You mean in the past you might have
no, in the future. I thought in the future it might block me.
But the thought you had that it might block you, where is that thought now? You might find
it's gone. It's totally gone because I said thank you to this world I was building.
There you go.
Thank you. You supported me. Thank you so much. But now you can go because I do my own thing in
I
my
love
own
this.
world.
And you know what I'm hearing too is that you're approaching it with gratitude. And gratitude
Yes,
has
I
incredible.
said thank you because I learned so much. All my knowledge comes from the scene and then it was gone. I said, why did I think that way?
What
It's
if, let's consider this. What if whatever you thought had been blocking you in the past for so long could simply be gone? And how
it,
awesome is it to know that it can be that easy?
I was
Change
never ever
happens in a
accepting that.
moment because
It
change
was done
happens in a
like
moment,
this,
right?
and I was
Doesn't
like,
it?
hello, what was
Give
going
Ela
on?
some love. Look at her. How many of you can tell she's processing? Who can see that there's new neural pathways
Yes.
that are
I
happening in the
cut
brain?
one thing off, and another one was
She's
already
inspired to
building
keep
up.
sharing.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
Give her some love. We're going to have more time to share the VIP room. I can feel your enthusiasm and I'm loving it. We had a very profound guided
Oh, yes.
visualization meditation. So
Oh, yeah.
we have replays for the VIP. If you don't have those yet, we'll let you know. You can make sure to get those so you could experience that as well. All right, beautiful ones, let's dive in. And as you're having breakthroughs throughout the day, I'm going to encourage you. Let's do a quick reminder. Everyone put bees in the chats right now. BBBs. Lots of bees. Mindy, good to see you. Carol, good to see you. Morgan, good to see you. Kenneth, Tom, awesome. Let's get down to it. Okay, so how many of you believe and know, not just believe, that we live in a field of infinite possibilities? That right now there's infinite possibilities of what you can create in your business, in your life with this goal. That there's infinite possibilities of how you can bring the goal through to fruition. There's multiple ways to achieve your goal, yes? Now, what happens in a field of infinite possibilities, and this graphic that I'm going to show you now in NLP is called the communication model. Take a look at it. Those dots represent the field of infinite possibilities. Now, what happens is your brain and your nervous system cannot take in infinite possibilities. It's like way too much information, like trying to download the whole internet all at once. So, what we do all day long, all of us do it, is we delete information, we distort information, and we make generalizations about reality. Ela's example was perfect. She's in the past, I was seeing this as a problem and now it's gone. So in the past, she was deleting possibilities, focusing on the problem, okay, making that problem bigger than it was, distorting it, and then generalizing it. Who can see that that's what was happening? And then all of a sudden, she goes through this profound experience, our training, the visualization, and boom, all of a sudden, what's happening in the inner world shifts, which causes her perception to shift. One of the prime directives of the subconscious mind is it controls and maintains your perceptions. Okay. So when we get this model, here's what we understand is that in a field of infinite possibilities, and I had this conversation, who knows Michael Beckwith? Michael Beckwith is a very dear friend of mine. He wrote the foreword of my book. He's the founder of the Agape International Spiritual Center. He's a brilliant leader. And we were having this conversation, and he said this: in a field of infinite possibilities, you do not describe what you see, rather, you see what you describe. In other words, you're not looking at your bank account, you're not looking at your life, you're not looking at your business and describing what's happening. What's actually going on is that what's showing up, what's materializing, is mirroring back to you your own thoughts, your own beliefs, your own identity, your own values, your own standards. This is good news. In NLP, we say perception is projection. In other words, what we're perceiving in a field of infinite possibilities is mirroring back to us what is in our own subconscious. Imagine like this. You guys have been to big conference rooms where they have the projectors and the big screens? So imagine the screen in the front of the room is like the screen of infinite possibilities in your life. The projector, the light shining through, is the light that is you. And what happens is a slide goes in the projector. And then the slide gets projected onto the screen. But the slide is just a slide. We can remove the slide and put another slide, yes? How many of you have had slides from the past that have been showing up in the present, that are not serving you, that take you out of alignment, out of your center, out of your purpose, out of your power? And what would it be worth to have a strategy to remove those old obstructions or those old slides so that the light that is used shines powerfully unobstructed? You guys with me? So would it be valuable for me to give you some teachings in understanding this even deeper today? The first time I really understood this teaching, and I understood different distinctions of it for years after I learned it, is it was a massive breakthrough for me. I go, my goodness, I am creating my experience of reality from moment to moment. The awesome news is because we're creating our experience of reality, not the reality itself, but our experience of it, we could shift it, we could change it, just like Ela described. In the past, this was a problem. Now it's gone. And how liberating it is to know that. So let's dive into the conscious mind and the subconscious mind. Okay. So you have a conscious mind, you have a subconscious mind. They're not two separate minds, they're expressions of mind. Subconscious means beneath the surface. That's what it means. So it's activity that is happening in mind. It's just outside of conscious awareness. And often what happens, and share with me if you've had this experience. If you have, raise your hands to the heavens or give me a big yes in the chats. Have you ever had an experience where a part of you wants something? You're like ready to go, but then there's something else that goes, hey, wait a minute. Who are you kidding? Or I'm not ready. Or, what if it doesn't work? Or, we don't have what it takes to make that happen. Who's had that where it feels like you take one step forward towards your vision and purpose and two steps back? Can you relate? So what's happening? Consciously, you're moving forward. Subconsciously, there may be something, possibly a belief, values, we're going to explore that may be bringing you back to an old standard of being or an old program, for lack of a better term. So here's some distinctions. The conscious mind, more objective, more logical, reasoning, analytical, sequential, experiences parts. Part of me wants this, part of me wants that. Part of me wants to make $100 million. Part of me wants to sleep until noon. Part of me wants to be lean, healthy, and fit. Part of me wants to eat bacon double cheeseburgers. So sometimes these parts appear to be conflicting, and that can be a challenge for some unless it's not. Can also support your evolution and growth. So the subconscious mind is subjective, more intuitive, instinctual. It's synthesizing, non-judgmental. It experiences the whole. Who's ever had that experience where you just have a gut feeling about something? You have a gut feeling. Now, have you ever had a gut feeling and then you kind of talk yourself out of it in your mind? You're like, well, let me, I'm not too kind of sure of it. I remember in school, they used to say, go with your first gut instinct with regards to when you're taking a test or something of that nature. So it's like that gut instinct is more of the essence of the subconscious mind. I did the best I could to find a picture for you of the subconscious mind. It wasn't easy. This is the best I could find. Okay? It's like the subconscious mind. What happens is the subconscious mind is often acting out to protect you, to keep you safe. And it creates a sense, who's ever had the experience where you feel like there's an autopilot behavior? For example, have you ever left your office or your place of work and you're used to driving home, but this time you're not going to drive home, you're going to go meet somebody for dinner, but you're used to driving home, and all of a sudden you get off on the wrong exit and you're like, how did I even get here? Who's had that experience? So who's driving your car? It's your subconscious mind, where your subconscious mind is driving a lot of your life. And it's essential that your subconscious mind is that you give it suggestion, that you give it direction in alignment with your 90-day goal, that you're giving it suggestions, because that's one of the prime directives of the subconscious mind. Is the subconscious mind is amenable to suggestion. It's amenable to suggestion. It's always listening. It's not idle. Okay. It's receptive. So if someone says, oh my gosh, what if it doesn't work? What if I screw up? What if I can't make it happen? The subconscious mind does not have faculties of judgment. It's not going to say, hey, that's really illogical and that's not true. We have all the resources and what it takes to make it happen. The subconscious mind will say, aye, Captain. Matter of fact, I brought my captain's hat to show you how the subconscious mind works. It is amenable to suggestion and it just listens. See, it says, aye, Captain. I'm going to do what it is that you are giving me the suggestion to do. Now, how many of you prior to today, aye, Captain, woo, how many of you prior to today were given some crappy suggestions to your own subconscious mind and then wondering why there were some crappy results in the context of achieving goals? Anybody been doing that? Before the end of today, I'm going to give you a technique with your intention, with your purpose, begin to rewire those old patterns. And the challenge is for a lot of us, some of those patterns were ingrained at a very young age. How many of you can tell that there's certain patterns from the past, early stages of childhood, maybe even carried down through your genealogy, patterns in your ancestral lineage that are still showing up in your own life? Perhaps patterns of scarcity, patterns of lack, patterns of loss, patterns of limitation. Is that relatable? For me, it was. Part of what got me into this business is recognizing that I had certain trauma from a very young age that was acting itself out in my life. And I got very curious. What is the origin of this? Where is this from? Psychologists say that the imprinting stages of childhood are somewhere before the age of 7, 6 or 7. The imprinting stages, where your little brain and your whole consciousness is like a sponge and it is soaking everything up. And in that moment, as a child, beliefs are formed. In the mind of a child, decisions are made and emotions become repressed. I think of the example of an elephant. Who knows the story like an elephant that gets, let's say they get brought in by the zoo or a circus? Terrible story. I'm all about taking care of animals and rights, but they take this little baby elephant, they tie the leg of the baby elephant to a pole. And when the baby elephant is small, it tries to get out, and he can't. So all of a sudden, the neural pathways create this boundary of what's possible. What's possible is only in this boundary. Even though when that elephant grows, it has the power to completely break free, it doesn't recognize its own superpower. And so sometimes it is with us until you arrive here, until you arrive into an environment where you begin to recognize in the presence of your classmates, in the presence of others, wait a minute, if they can do it, I can do it. It's one of the reasons we share case studies, to really begin to create those neural pathways to go, hey, this is possible for me in my life. Good to see you, Carol. So who has had the experience you can relate that we've been programmed? Anybody had some disempowering program from the past? Some of you may have not. Josh spoke yesterday, and we've all had some disempowering program. It's not like we haven't, but Josh grew up where his parents were in the field of NLP. So he had a very different upbringing than I did, for example, different experiences, all bringing us here together today. So who can relate that they may have some programs from the past that show up in the present that don't serve you? If you can relate to that, give me a big yes in the chats. Raise your hands to the heavens. I want to see who can relate to this story. Okay. So even though we've been programmed, the awesome news here, and I have a slide for you on this, is that even though we've been programmed, we are meta programmable. We are meta programmable, which means we can step outside of these old programs, observe them in a state of expanded awareness. And in this state of expanded awareness, we could gather new insights, gather new distinctions, gather new learnings, new realizations. Distinctions that once integrated allow these old patterns to dissolve fully and completely right here and right now in light of that new awareness, in light of the new understanding. And how awesome it is to know that can happen in a moment. So Are you ready to write down some notes? You could write down the notes on the prime directives. Like I said, I'm sharing the ones that relate to our topic today. Number one, it's amenable to suggestion. That's why it's important the environments you put yourself in. The subconscious mind is the storehouse of memories. For example, right now, everyone, I'm going to ask you a question. I'm going to invite you to point in any direction. Point in any direction. If I asked you to point to the past, where would you point? If I asked you to point to the future, where would you point? If you're looking from my perspective, you see people are pointing in different directions. How many of you, when you pointed to the past, it was behind you? How many of you had the future in front of you? Who had the past in a different location other than behind you? Let me see, who had the past somewhere else? Jillian, where was it for you? Morgan, where was it for you? Let me see, point. So for Jillian, it was over here. It was across. For you, Morgan, it was down. Who else? How about you, Andreas? Where was the past for you? Okay, awesome. I guided this experience once and I asked, point to the past. And I had a gentleman that pointed right here in front of his face. Do you think that would impact goal achievement if the past was in front of someone's face? One time I asked, point to the past, and a gentleman pointed into his heart and started crying. And it was hurt from grief and loss. So where we experience the past matters and where we experience the future matters. Now, what would happen? How many of you in the past have experienced the future or your goal way far out there? Anybody experience that? We had a breakthrough visualization yesterday that brought the future into the present or into the now, all integrated. What do you think would happen if all of a sudden you stepped into your future vision now? Step into your goal now. Think about the goal that you have. Think about your 90-day goal. And as you think about it, do you have a picture? Nod your head if you have a picture. So how easily can you just imagine for a moment stepping into it fully right here, right now, breathing it in as it's already done, looking out through your own eyes. So the subconscious mind is the storehouse of memories. It is the domain of emotions. How many of you have ever been focused on your goal and then all of a sudden fear comes up or anger comes up or sadness comes up? Subconscious mind is the domain of emotions. It does not process negatives. If I said, don't think of the color red, what are you thinking about? Don't think of an octopus on a unicycle with a party hat playing a harmonica. What are you thinking about? It's like the subconscious mind cannot negate. And like I said, it has no faculties of judgment. So all of a sudden, let's say a child hears, let's say a 4-year-old child hears, stop it, don't be so stupid. Don't be so stupid. Because the subconscious mind does not process negatives. If that child hears, don't be so stupid, what is, and the subconscious mind is amenable to suggestion like a sponge. It's not having faculties of judgment. It does not process negatives. What is the child hearing? Stupid, stupid. How many of you have children under the age of 7? Let me take a look. Okay, a few of you. This teaching is very powerful, not only for you, for them. Now, the subconscious mind represses memories with negative emotion until you're ready to deal with them. Sometimes something can happen that can be so traumatic. Okay? And the subconscious mind will repress that emotion. I'll give you one quick story. And part of that is because we had one person in the VIP room who was emailing our team today going, I've been having fear of loss of money. Can you have Niurka work with me on this question? Is that relatable, fear of loss around money? And I thought of this story. So the subconscious mind is represses memories with negative emotion until you're ready to deal with it. Remember I said it's the storehouse of memories, okay? So let's just imagine, and I'm just going to give you a glimpse on this because this is a deeper teaching. You guys ready for a deep teaching on the subconscious mind? Okay, so imagine this is the timeline of your life. There's the future. Let's just say here's the moment of birth. You came in here. Let's say this is the moment of now. And let's just say this is something around 5 years old. Let's say something happened here And at the moment, with the resources of a child, it was very challenging for you to experience. And I'll give you a story. I had years ago, a woman came to my courses. She says, can you work with my husband? I said, what's going on? She said, he has this fear of loss and I don't know what's going on. He's afraid of losing his clients. He's afraid of losing money. He's afraid of losing me. Our kids are leaving home for college. He's afraid of losing and I don't understand. I said, would he be willing to come to our advanced course? She said, yes. So he came. And as I'm guiding the experience, all of a sudden he's in the room and boom, he has this memory come out of the subconscious mind that he had no prior awareness of. And it was him and his dad at the zoo. And he was at the zoo and he said to his dad, Dad, I really want a balloon. The dad said, you can't have a balloon. You're going to lose it. He says, but I'll give you this little wax statue. Let's go get it. He says, I don't want a wax statue. I want the balloon. I want the balloon. Dad says, you can't have it. You're going to lose it. Let's get the wax statue. He says, I don't want the wax statue. I want the balloon. So this went on back and forth. The little boy really wanted the balloon. Finally, the dad got him the balloon. Little boy was so excited, walking around with his balloon. And sure enough, guess what happened? He let it go. And in that moment, in a state of anger, the dad scolded him and pointed and said, see, if you don't hang on tight to things, you lose them. So in that moment, this little boy felt emotion, wasn't really safe to feel. Let me push those emotions down. Sadness, anger, whatever emotion came up. And a belief is formed in that moment. Belief, I need to hold on tight, because if I don't hold on tight to things, I'm going to lose them. Then weeks go by, months go by, years go by, and he doesn't know why. He has this deep underlying feeling that if he doesn't hold on tight, he's going to lose it. If he doesn't hold on tight, he's going to lose it. Consciously, he knows it doesn't make sense. His wife loves him. His children love him. He's great at business, but deep down, there's this underlying feeling. As I'm sharing this story, I'm curious to hear, does that bring up anything for you? How many of you, as I'm listening to the story, you can relate your own experience to perhaps some things in the past? If you can't put a yes in the chats, if it doesn't resonate, please give me a no. I'd love to see. I'd love to get your reflection. Here's the awesome news, my friends. These root cause or significant emotional events have a learning, is what I've discovered in guiding experiences for the last quarter century. There is a learning, or I call it a gift. And this is a very powerful question for you in light of achieving your goals. When challenges emerge, for you to ask, what is the gift in this? That is a powerful teaching right there. Anytime a challenge emerges, to ask, what is the gift in this? What is the learning? What is the new awareness that once integrated allows this old pattern to dissolve? What is it? To literally retrain your brain to ask, what is the learning? What is the gift? Yes, you got it, Andreas, a gift in disguise. Because often those experiences were repressed for protection, to keep you safe. Now your subconscious mind gets, hey, I'm in this environment of community. I'm in this environment of conscious creation. I'm in this environment of support. I'm in this environment of aligning with brothers and sisters from around the world that are on this same higher purpose of fulfilling their purpose and destiny. Then what happens is we can find new, better ways to meet that ultimate outcome. So the other thing too is that the subconscious mind, this is an interesting way to say it because it kind of personifies it, but it loves serving and it needs clear orders to follow. That's why it's so important, the suggestions you give your subconscious mind. Who's been giving in the past poor suggestions? Oh my gosh, I can't make this work. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm not good at this. Those are suggestions. I'm going to give you a very powerful tool to create new suggestions in a moment, not just yet. Okay. First, tell me what category of your life is your 90-day goal in the chats. Is it a financial goal? Is it a health and fitness goal? Is it a scaling your business goal? Is it what category is your goal? So now, different categories, financial, business. In that category, up until now, you've been getting a result, right? You've been getting a result. It may be a result that you don't like at all. It may be a result that you partly like the result, but you don't like the other parts but you're getting a result, yes? Up until now, in this area. We're talking about up until now. Up until now, what determines the results that you've been getting? What determines your results in finances, in business, in your health and vitality? There you go, Jillian. It's your actions, right? Your behaviors and your actions. Okay. Do a lot of people know what to do, but don't take the actions they know to do? So what determines the actions you take? What determines whether you take consistent, focused, purposeful action in the direction of your goals and dreams or you don't? Me, well, definitely you. Okay, what specifically? More specifically. There you go, Julie, your beliefs. Okay, your beliefs. Well, what determines or influences your beliefs? And what are beliefs? Beliefs are a feeling of certainty. When you believe something, you feel certain about it. Your feelings, okay? Well, are there some people that take action regardless of their feelings or their mood? Your core values. Core values are so important. They answer the question, what is most important to you? What is most important to you in life? What's most important to you in business? What if I shared with you, I could sit with someone for like 5 minutes and elicit their core values? And I could teach you how to do it. All we've got to do is look at their results. Trace their results. Where are they investing their time, their energy, their money, their resources is going to reveal to you their core values. And core values are influenced by your identity, your sense of self. Now, core values, there's a term in NLP called meta programs. And there's many meta programs. One specifically that is relevant here to achieving goals is that often these core values are driven by a deeper subconscious motivation to either move toward your vision, toward what you're inspired and committed to create, or they're fueled to move away from what you don't want. Who's had a goal where they're focused on, I read one of this in the comments or in the questionnaires, I don't want to be broke. I don't want to have to worry about money. I don't want to be fat. So here's a question. Is it different if the underlying motivation to achieve your goal, is it different if the motivation is driven by a vision of desire? A vision of what you intend to create, a forward-moving motivation of how you envision your life to be. This is what I'm inspired to be in my business. I'm creating this product because it's going to impact lives. It's going to serve the planet. It's going to make a meaningful difference. I am so fired up about my vision. How many of you can feel that this is moving toward motivation? So there's going to be seasons along the way, right? Life has seasons. There's going to be challenges, but you're being pulled towards a bigger vision. I remember when I was 19 years old, I asked Tony Robbins, I said, I was 19. I'm like, how are you so motivated? And he said to me, I don't need motivation. My vision is so big, it pulls me. That's what he said to me. Now, what happens when somebody's vision, I just gave you an example of business. What if somebody goes into business because they don't want to work for someone else? Or they don't want to have to worry about money. I mean, that's more financial, but don't want to work for someone else. They start pushing away from this unwanted thing. If you're pushing away from something unwanted, what are you giving your energy to? Tell me if there's breakthroughs in the house while you're having this, okay? Put them in the chat. If you're pushing away from something unwanted, like I don't want this, where's your energy going? Where's your power going? Okay. Remember Wayne Dyer said you can never get enough of what you don't want. Who remembers Wayne Dyer? So wonderful, okay? Because we live in an attraction-based universe. So when someone is pushing away from something unwanted, let's say that somebody loses a bunch of weight right before their wedding because they don't want to be fat, or they don't want to look fat in the pictures or in the wedding dress. Is that different than my body is lean, healthy, fit? It's a temple. I'm taking care of it because it's my temple, versus I don't want this. So here's the distinction. When the underlying subconscious motivation is pushing away from something unwanted, that creates roller coaster results. So what I've discovered is often the root of that is emotions that have been repressed, beliefs that are limiting. And one of the beliefs that we help people break through consistently, which we hear often, I read it in the questionnaires, is this belief of not enoughness. Not enough money, not enough time, not enough within myself. I'm not enough. Is that relatable? If that's relatable, give me a yes in the chats. And if it's not, say N, because I want to see what it's not relatable to. I don't just want all the answers. Okay. Ela's like, not now after yesterday. So awesome. Used to be, there you go. That's the power of the journey. Okay. And if for the couple that said not relatable, I'm sure it was at some point in the past based on what I've experienced from you in sessions. So the awesome news is this: there is a gift in this experience. So let me share with you a little bit about what values are. Okay. So we really understand these core values that are driving our life. They're generalizations about belief systems. They're deeply ingrained. They become conscious or unconscious. They can change with context. They determine what's most important. They're primarily responsible for your motivation. They determine how you invest your time, your money, your energy, your resources. They illuminate what you want to achieve, what you want to avoid. They form the framework for decision making. They're arranged hierarchically. And often what blocks people from achieving a goal is that their values are conflicting. Like they value comfort and they value achievement, and they haven't reconciled or integrated those. Now, there is a way where you can experience comfort while achieving, and it's an integrative process. So there's the basis of your standards, your social interactions, how you communicate, and how you relate. So one of the things that we do in our advanced courses is we guide people to elicit the values that have been driving your life up until now in the category you selected, which is the category of your goal achievement. What are the values that have been driving your life? Not the values that you think they are, but based on your actual results. Based on the actual results. Based on the results, what have you been valuing? Does it make sense that if someone's bank account is not reflecting what they desire, there's something that they've been valuing other than serving people in a way that creates prosperity, abundance, and money? It's always going to come through service. Okay. So what if I shared with you that the moment, here's the key for goal achievement. I can give you right now behaviors. Some of you are like, okay, what do I need to do? So many people, as I'm reading the questionnaires, I want to generate 10 more VIP clients. I want to launch my podcast. I want to launch my new digital course. I want to sign on 15 more coaching clients. I want to do my new retreat. I want to create my new workshop. There's a lot of that in here. Is that you as I'm sharing this? Or maybe different goals? A lot of people had client goals. I can give you all the behaviors. Here's what you got to do. You got to create a brand. You got to ensure that the brand is consistent. Here's the behaviors. Then you've got to go create content that's in alignment with your brand. Then you've got to be consistent creating that content. Then you've got to get that content out there so people get to know who you are. Then you've got to record videos, put them on social media. Then you want to create joint venture alliances. I could give you the whole plan of what to do to grow your business with the behaviors. By the way, those of you that said 15 clients, that's exactly what to do. You create a brand, you create content, you start nurture, you create a way for people to join your email list. You nurture them, give them value, 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 and then you have an irresistible offer. That's the way you have 15 new clients. Is that simple from behaviors? I can give it to you step by step. We've been doing it for decades. Here's the question though. If that isn't aligned with the deeper identity and core values, is it going to happen? Yes or no? Now, let me flip it for a second. What if the identity and core values is totally in alignment? Will you find a way to get the behaviors? So which is actually more important in the next 90 days in light of you achieving this goal and something even greater? What is going to give you more power? Is it for me to give you all the behaviors? Or is it for me to help you guide you in this deeper understanding? Here's the shift. Here's the shift, okay? The results that you're currently getting are mirroring your current core values. That might be a brain floss for some of you, because for some of you, you may have been valuing things that you didn't think you were valuing. Sometimes I ask somebody about their core values, they say it's success, achievement, and contribution. And then I look at their results, and that's not what the results say. The results are showing me comfort, protection, playing safe, playing small. But they're telling me success and contribution. What is that? There's an incongruency between their true core values, because core values are what you are valuing in the moment, and what they wish their values were. Any breakthroughs while we're going through this? I'm just reminding you, you might be totally in the zone, okay? So the awesome news, my friends, I promise you, there's a learning, there's a realization. These values can transform in light of your superpower identity, in light of your true purpose, in light of your highest self. I'm going to share with you one specific case study about a dear student who came, and she had a traumatic experience. Her and her beloved husband, he died in a tragic ski accident. 2 young children. And she came to the course, and she's been with us for many, many years. And actually, she's gone through certification. Now she's guiding people with hypnotherapy. And here's the experience she had specifically about what happened when her values transformed. Listen to this case study. Here we go.
Neo is more personally transformative. It's over here, and it is a profound personal experience of transformation. Neo is where you drop down and you go into the deeper parts of your mind that you didn't even know were forming you. And the whole experience is very deep, it's very profound, and you pop out the other end. Niurka gives this amazing opportunity near the beginning of Neo and near the end of Neo to kind of pull up what your values are that are driving you in the specific area of your life. So for me, it was my relationship with myself the first time. I mean, the values at the beginning, you re-elicit themselves for yourself at the end, and they have changed. And I remember the first time being like, what is going on? Like, how did something change so deeply inside of me that my values have elevated like that in 3-4 days in an entire area of my life?
Powerful, powerful. So when you create a shift, here, everything shifts. That's the deeper work. We guide that. I wish I could give that to you in 90 minutes. How many of you can see that's a little bit of a longer process than a 90-minute workshop or challenge? We guide that in what I call our total immersion transformational experiences. Total immersion means we're together for 4 days from 9 a.m. Pacific to 6 p.m. for 4 full days for deep dive transformational experience, not just consciously, at the depth of your subconscious. Okay. So now I'll share with you a little bit more about that when we're complete. What I'd love to do right now is I'd love to share with you a technique that's going to accelerate your goal achievement first. You ready for that? To make sure you hit that bullseye, to make sure you hit that mark of that goal or something even greater, even better. What I'm going to do right now is I'm going to give you a teaching. Who's experienced my signature teaching on the power of questions? If you've experienced my signature teaching on the power of questions, raise your hand. How was that teaching? If you were to describe it to those who have not yet experienced it, put it in the chats. Who has not experienced my signature teaching on the power of questions? Let me take a look. Okay, awesome. If you have, we're going to take it to the next level. If you have not, you're in for a treat. And I'm going to share with you at the end how you could get the entire teaching, because I'm excited to give it to you, since achieving goals has everything to do with your state, and your state has everything to do with your communication and the questions you're asking yourself. Okay. So the power of questions. In any given moment, we are asking and answering our own questions. The most successful people on the planet who achieve consistent, outstanding results, regardless of who they are, here's just a few examples of leaders, ask very different questions than those that feel stuck or consistently struggling. For example, the founders of Google, they're at the top. They ask the question, how do we organize the world's information? Is that a different question than waking up in the morning and saying, what do I need to do today? The Walt Disney asked, how do I create the happiest place on earth? A lot of people don't realize that it was his wound that inspired him to create something he didn't have in childhood. So the questions that we ask, and we're constantly, here's what I want you to realize, we're constantly asking and answering our own questions. It's part of the way that we think. Good to see you, Barbara. Okay. It's part of how we think. Deepak Chopra says the average person has about 60,000 thoughts per day. And a lot of those thoughts are asking and answering our own questions. He also said that about 95% of those thoughts are the same thoughts we had yesterday. Anybody tend to repeat those thoughts? So let's interrupt the thoughts that don't serve, right, Fritz, and create some thoughts that do. So first I'll share a story about the power of questions, then I'm going to give you a technique. Years ago, my office received a phone call from a gentleman named Greg Mazzillo, who was having a convention for his company, and they were looking for a keynote speaker. And my office manager spoke to him and said, well, how'd you hear about Niurka? And he said, her CDs, this is the original version here. He says, someone gifted me her CDs. They sat on my desk as a paperweight for years. And then I decided to listen to him when I opened an office. I was commuting. And then all of a sudden, he said, I had the biggest breakthrough. He said, I started listening to a CD on the power of questions, and I realized that I was walking around consistently asking myself disempowering questions. He said, I was walking around asking myself things like, why are people so stupid? Why is it so hard to find good, talented people? Why can't I lose weight? And he said, I was manifesting the mirror image reflection of the questions I was asking. Then I came to your experience, and I listened to that CD, and I had this huge breakthrough. I realized that I'm attracting the mirror image of my question. He said, all of a sudden I flipped it. He said, you had a question in there that really inspired me. He said, the question you asked was, and here's the thing about questions, my friends, questions contain presuppositions. Presuppositions are embedded assumptions. They signal your brain to sort through these infinite possibilities and attract what's in alignment with what you're declaring. So if someone says, why is it so hard to make money doing what I love? What's the presupposition? That it's hard, that they can't make money doing what they love. Then, because the subconscious mind is amenable to suggestion, it goes, aye, Captain. It's so hard. It's listening to those presuppositions and acting it out. If you're having breakthroughs, let me know, because that's very profound. He said, I had this mind-blowing awareness. And then he said, I started asking myself a different question. There's a question in there that you said that changed my life. He said, the question was, how can I be even more aware of the unlimited opportunities that surround me right now? What's the presupposition there? How can I be even more aware of the unlimited opportunities that surround me right now? What's the presupposition? That there are what? Unlimited opportunities. And where are they? They're surrounding him right now. Do you think if you asked yourself that question every hour on the hour, you would become more aware of unlimited opportunities around you right now? So this is a technique you could apply immediately to achieve your goal, to accelerate your 90-day goal achievement. So he applied it immediately. And look at what happened for him in 90 days. His company name is Performa. You can look him up. He's the founder. He said within 90 days, it increased their business by $50 million in 90 days. And he said, I know it's because of the questions I was asking myself. And then I went and I took your training and I brought in, and I ended up going in and doing the training and the keynote speaking because he was so committed. He brought me in to speak with his leaders. And he said the questions were the difference that makes the difference. So here's the key. You can ask empowering questions or disempowering questions. Which questions have you been asking? And questions have immense power in the context of achieving your goals. Check this out. You can ask questions to gather information, understand your client's map of the world, their desires, their vision, their goals, their dreams, what's keeping them up at night, what their problems are so you can solve them. You find out that information by asking questions. You could ask questions to transform challenges. You could ask questions to evoke empowering states in others and yourself. You could ask questions to explore opportunities, to clarify meaning, to develop deep, authentic rapport, to direct your focus, to direct your client's focus, to direct your prospects' focus, your children's focus, to expand imagination, and to amplify your materializing power. Who's fired up about mastering the art and science of asking questions with purpose, poise, precision, and power? This is a teaching that we give in our advanced course, Supreme Influence. I spend about 2 hours on this teaching, but right now I'm giving you the meat and potatoes of it so you can get this party started with achieving your goal in 90 days. And this is so important right now, especially with artificial intelligence. We're living in a world where answers are coming faster than ever before. Who's lived their life looking for a lot of answers? I want answers. I want answers about how to grow my business. I want answers about how to have this relationship of my dreams or make more money. What if it wasn't about getting answers? What if it was about formulating the right questions that attracted the greatest response? What if you didn't need to know the answer? What if all you had to do was formulate the question that created the fertile conditions for that answer to be revealed to you? So disempowering questions keep you stuck. Empowering questions expand possibilities. Expand possibilities. So I'm going to give you an example of presuppositions. In a moment, I'm going to show a very short video, and I'm going to invite you to tell me what is being presupposed in this video. What's being presupposed? At first, there's one presupposition, then there's another one. What's the presupposition?
What did you do to my sign?
I wrote the same, but in different words.
Thanks, love.
So same message, framed differently, different frame. What was the presupposition in the first message? And how did it shift when she shifted the context of communication? Okay. Yeah, the first one was lack. Something was missing. The second one was gratitude. So realize that every question you ask contains presuppositions. Does everyone have that? If you've got that your question presupposes something. Why is this so hard? Presupposes hard. What can I learn from this? Presupposes learning. You guys got that? Presuppositions? Give me a high five if everybody's got presuppositions. Darren, you got presuppositions? Fritz? Matt? Okay, awesome. Because presuppositions have power. Now, let me give you a formula. And who's heard of the reticular activating system? The RAS? The reticular activating system is the part of your brain that tells you what to notice. Have you ever bought a car and it's like everybody's driving the same car you just bought? The cars were there before, they were just not at the forefront of your awareness. All of a sudden, you bought a car, it's like everybody's driving that car because it triggered your reticular activating system. Well, the questions that you ask, here's how powerful this is. The questions that you ask influence your state. The state that you're in determines what you perceive and experience in a field of infinite possibilities. You shift your question, you shift the state, you shift your awareness. Powerful? Tell me in the chats. Yes or no? Powerful? Okay. So now I'm going to guide you to write your own empowering question. I'm going to give you a few examples first. I'm going to guide you to write your own empowering question. We're going to write questions in the context of you achieving this 90-day goal, questions that are going to support you in accelerating your momentum towards achieving the goal. First, I'm going to give you guys are already starting to write. Hang on, hold on. I'm going to give you a couple examples, and then I'm going to give you a formula. So first, notice the distinction here with some of these slides. I'm going to move through them quickly, so make sure you're on the edge of your seat. This is a disempowering question. What if I'm not ready? They ask that disempowering question, it's going to access a disempowering physiology. It's going to influence what you perceive in a field of infinite possibility. Let's switch it. Well, first, here's some other examples of disempowering ones. Has anyone said this before? What if I don't have what it takes? What if I'm not ready? Why is it so hard? Why are they getting faster than me? Anybody said these? Okay. We are going to switch this. How's this for an empowering question? How can I prepare myself even more effectively and step forward with confidence right now? Instead of saying, what if it doesn't work? How can I create even more value today? Someone says, why is this so hard? Give me a better question. What can I learn from this challenge? And how will overcoming it make me stronger and even more resourceful? It's a better question. Why are they getting it faster than me? How can I align with a mentor like you are right here, right now, who's going to show me how to accelerate my results and impact? Why is this happening to me? What can I learn from this? And how will I implement this learning to grow my skills and impact right now? How powerful would it be if this moment, from this moment forward, anytime you ask a disempowering question, you catch yourself and you go, nope, that's what I used to do. Can everybody go like this? That's what I used to do. Put it behind you. Say, hey, you know what? That's what I used to do. So from this moment forward, anytime you catch yourself asking anything less than an empowering question, it only serves as a reminder to be even more purposeful with your questions. So you ready for a formula? Okay. So empowering questions begin with what? The word what? The word what elicits context. It's like, what is it that I'm going to achieve? How elicits a process. How? Who? My biggest breakthroughs in business have come from asking questions that begin with who. Like my biggest quantum leaps. Who can I call? Who do I know? Who can I align with? The biggest stages I've been on, the biggest breakthroughs I've had in business started by me asking a question, who? How many of us met when I was on tour for 2 years with Tony Robbins in Canada? Any of us met there? That whole stage started by me asking who? Who do I know? Okay. So questions with why can be empowering, but questions with why can expand on purpose or problem or philosophical conversation. For right now, let me guide you through 3 steps. First, in a moment, you're going to write an empowering question. It's going to begin with what, how, or who. Got it? That's the first step. Second step is your question is going to be stated in the affirmative. It's going to be stated in the direction you want to go. In other words, it's not, years ago, I did this training in a corporate office because I do a lot of corporate consulting. And one guy said, how can I not be such a procrastinator? Can you see that that keeps procrastination active in the field? So instead of how can I not be a procrastinator, how can I accomplish this by Friday or sooner? Who do I know that I can align with to bring this through to fruition in the next 90 days or sooner? Okay. So your question is stated in the affirmative. It's moving in the direction you're inspired to go. It's moving in alignment with your goal, your 90-day goal. This question is in alignment with the fulfillment of your 90-day goal. This question contains presuppositions that are in alignment with the fulfillment of your 90-day goal. Who's getting this with me? Raise your hands to the heavens. Say yes. This is a powerful tool you can take from now until forever. Third ingredient is that your question can create, you can add a few things to spice it up. Add a few things to create even more momentum. For example, you can add the words even more. Okay. How can I accomplish $100,000 or more? How can I be even more focused right now? Is there a difference if you woke up and you said, you know what, how can I focus right now? Versus how can I be even more focused? Versus how can I be even more focused right now, right here, right now? Can you feel that that energy is bringing it into the moment of now, the only moment there really is? Okay. So in a moment, I'm going to guide you. You're going to write your own empowering questions. Then we'll debrief. We'll take as many as we can, and I'll continue coaching you on your questions in the VIP room. So right now, take out your pen. You're clear on the goal that you're going to achieve in 90 days. Right now, you're going to write an empowering question that is going to, it's going to presuppose, it's going to presuppose the whatever resources are essential for you to fulfill that goal. Okay. So go ahead and start your question. Who can I align with? What specific content can I create? Who can I call today to connect and open a door of opportunity that would accelerate the fulfillment of this goal? Who can I call? Who can I reach out to today? Who can I connect with? How can I structure my message in a compelling way that is received? How can I make my offer even more irresistible? Where are the people that are looking for what it is that I have to offer? And how can I connect with the leaders in those places in order to bring the value that I bring? How can I create even more value? How can I write my question while Niurka is talking so much? It's like, I'm going to give you all a moment. And when you're complete writing your question, put it in the chats, because we're going to take a few examples so that I can give you some coaching on your questions. Make them as succinct as you're able to. That's an awesome question. Who am I when I'm at my absolute best? Actually, that was the question I asked. I'll tell you that story in a moment because that's a great story. When I created and customized the training that caused Fletcher Jones Mercedes-Benz to become the #1 Mercedes-Benz dealer in the world, I went in and I asked them that question. Who are we at our absolute best? That's a great question. Who am I at my absolute best? How can I make my offer even more irresistible? I remember when I signed my very first client, when I started my company 25 years ago. As I was driving down there, I asked myself all kinds of empowering questions, like how can I connect with this person where he knows for a fact that I'm the best person on the planet to customize and deliver this training? How can I create even more value? How can I understand his vision and what's most important to him and align with him in a way that is meaningful so he takes immediate action right here and right now? What course or class can I book to learn how to create amazing videos? Awesome. Or who can I align with to create amazing videos? How can I earn $100,000 or more by January 22nd? There you go. Awesome. Then you have other questions that flow from it. What value can I create? What is the best strategy to move an investor to take action or complete his verbal agreement? So Aaron, play with that. What if you change the word move to inspire? Would that make a difference? Instead of to move the investor, to inspire the investor forward? How about if you put the word immediate in front of action? Would that make a difference? To inspire the investor to move forward, take immediate action? Okay, so these are just ways to really begin to play with this technique. Who can I align with or call today that would propel my business in such a way that would meet or exceed my 90-day goal? Awesome. Now, here's another way, Karen, to look at it. How can I create even more value for this person? How can I create value for them in a way where it's a natural action for them to say yes and do business with me? How can I exceed their expectations? How can I understand what's most important to them? How can I release 30 pounds and create more muscle and stay healthy? Get specific on the muscle. And how about this? Add in there, Lisa, and having fun doing it. While having fun doing it, while honoring my body. Who do I need to align with to let go of? Who do I need to align with and let go of to create the best support system for me to reach my 90-day goal? Awesome. Who's feeling more momentum right now in light of these questions towards fulfilling the goal? Who's feeling like you've got a tool that you could take with you, that you could apply every single day? So here's the power practice. And I'm going to have a celebration party in January. I'm going to tell you that in a moment, where we're going to look back to today and go, hey, this is done. High five. Here's the task. Are you willing to practice the power of questions every single day for the next 90 days? Are you willing to, before you go to bed, write empowering questions that move you in the direction of your goals? Are you willing to catch yourself in the event that you ask a disempowering question? And here's what you're going to do. If you catch yourself saying a disempowering question, why don't you tell me one in the chats? What's a disempowering question that you used to say to yourself prior to arriving at the Achieve Goals Fast Challenge? If there was a disempowering question that you used to say all the way back then, because we know it's a brand new moment, what was that disempowering question? Put it in the chats. I can't. Why is it so hard? Tell me the ones you used to say. Put them in there. When will my effort come through to fruition? I don't know how. Okay. Why does everyone want to hurt? Okay. Okay. So are you on a scale from 0 to 10? 10 is Niurka. I am crystal clear on the distinction. In the past, I was asking questions like this. Now I have this tool to interrupt that pattern and start asking questions like this. If that's a level 10 clarity of questions you used to ask and how we're going to flip it to achieve these goals in 90 days, give me a 10 that you have supreme clarity on this technique. Okay. So here's what's going to happen. 19. I love it, John. Okay, awesome. So I love it. Now, as we move forward from today, we got a 90-day mission here. We got a 90-day mission. If you catch yourself saying a disempowering question, here's what you're going to do. You're going to shake it out like that Taylor Swift song. Okay? Can everybody shake their body? Come on. Double the shake. Double the shake. There you go, Helen. Triple the shake. Come on, Morgan. Triple the shake. Triple the shake. Quadruple the shake. Come on. Now, like in yoga, do a lion's breath. Can you give me lion's breath? Okay, so that's the technique. If you catch yourself saying a disempowering question, you shake it out, you do lion's breath, and then you ask a better question. Now, that may seem silly. Why are we shaking it out and doing lion's breath? We're doing that because we're shifting our physiology. And when we shift our physiology, we're shifting our focus and our state. All right, so I'm going to recap the formula. Moving forward, we're clear on our goal. We've set it. Yes, we're clear on our goal. We've set it. We've declared it. It's succinct. It's smart. It's well-formed. Our physiology is in alignment with it. Let me see your superpower physiology. It's in alignment with that goal, like it's already done. Now you have the tool. You're asking empowering questions. If you catch yourself running that old pattern of disempowering questions, what are you going to do? Show me. There you go, Nanika. Come on, Danya. What are you going to do, Jolene? Come on, Roberta. There you go. Just shake it off. Okay, there you go. Then you're going to do what? And then you're going to ask a better question. This is going to automatically shift your focus in the direction you're inspired to go. Who do I know? Who can I align with? How can I accomplish this by tonight or sooner? Okay. And we're going to take in that state of expansion, into attunement with universal law. Breathing in the grace. Knowing that yes, with arrows here. I brought my archery. Some of you saw my bow yesterday, but when you launch the arrow of your purpose and your intent, you're in alignment, you're clear, smart goals, you're asking the questions, you're doing everything, right? Once you launch that arrow, the moment that arrow leaves your hand, that is the moment of faith. We do not try to control the arrow and where it lands. That is the moment of surrender. That is the law of detachment. That is the moment of faith. That is the moment of trust. Okay. Who's excited? Who's ready for the party 90 days from now? Awesome. So, on a scale from 0 to 10, I'm curious, how impactful is that Power Questions teaching for you in light of you achieving your goals on a scale from 0 to 10? If 10 is totally impactful, where is that on a scale from 0 to 10? Awesome. And that's just one tool. Who wants the whole toolbox? You're like, don't give me just one tool. I want not just the toolbox. I want the toolbox. I want the tool shed. Okay. I want the entire experience. So I've put something together really extraordinary for you. I'm thrilled you're here. It's my joy. It's my deepest joy to support you every step of the way in fulfilling this 90-day goal and then having it become the foundation to your next level manifestation, the foundation to the fulfillment of your grandest vision. I believe each one of you has a purpose. Nobody on earth has your expression, your unique way of shining light. No one on earth has the gifts that you have. Okay? And it's my joy to support you every step of the way to you fulfilling your gifts in service to people in a way that creates prosperity, beauty, value. Imagine what the world would be like with all of us living in this space. That's why I've put something together extraordinary. And you want to write down the dates because the next one is happening November 7th through the 10th. We've got 2 of my signature courses. That's the only 2 courses that I'm going to be sharing with you today. These are both my signature courses. One of them is called Neogenesis. The other one is called Supreme Influence in Action. And they are complementary. They are complementary courses. Neogenesis is coming up November 7th through the 10th. Supreme Influence in Action is coming up next year, but I'm going to give you an opportunity to get the replays from this year immediately, literally like right away in your dashboard. Would that be cool to get the entire teaching right away? The entire total immersion, 4 days of immersion. So these courses are complementary and they're very different. Neogenesis, have you heard of the legend of the Phoenix? This is a myth. The legend of the Phoenix is all about death and rebirth. It's about dying to an old part and creating a new beginning in your life. So Neogenesis is our deepest transformational course that guides you to create a new beginning in your life. It guides you on the timeline. Who felt some experiences when I was guiding this timeline and I was telling you the story of the boy, for example, and we were going back into that teaching? Neogenesis guides you to the root of limiting beliefs, negative emotions that don't serve you, like fear, anger, guilt, shame, hurt. Okay. Limiting decisions like I can't do it, I don't know how, I'm not good enough. And even releasing anxiety. It is our deepest dive transformational course. Like I said, it's 4 days, total immersion. It goes from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. on Zoom. So it's live Zoom like this, but it's from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. And before you arrive, you receive a questionnaire that is much deeper than the questionnaire you got here. that allows you to share with me the deepest things that have been going on in your life up until now, what your desires are, what's been blocking you, so that I can personally guide you through this experience. In a moment, I'll share a brief case study of a gentleman that I met when I was on tour, delivering with the tour I did with Tony Robbins. And this gentleman was walking out the door, and he had already booked an entire year of Tony's advanced courses, his mastery courses, wealth courses, all these courses. So I said to him, "Are you coming to Neogenesis?" And he looked at me while we were signing books and he said, "No, I'm not coming. I already, signed up for Tony's courses." And I had a conversation with him and I said that, and I explained to him what was different about this from anything that Tony does. And he made the decision to come. And I want you to hear from him in this brief case study what he shares about his experience at Neogenesis. And then I'm going to share with you the difference between these two courses. They're like going into a cocoon of transformation. These courses are like going into a portal where you come in, kind of what Gwen said in that video, and you pop out the other end and things have changed. So watch this.
My experience has been amazing. So I'm a huge Tony Robbins fan. I bought his book, Unlimited Power, when I was 19 and followed Tony for years. And I went to Vancouver for the one-day event, and Niurka spoke for about 45 minutes. And I bought tickets for her one-day event. So I brought my kids, and my kids absolutely loved it. They wanted to go to both Neo and Sia. So they'll be going this year. Neo was a huge breakthrough for me. It got to the underlying causes of what was going on, like deep down. I just had breakthrough after breakthrough. I went to Sia shortly thereafter, and I've implemented all those tools into my business. It's just been absolutely incredible. So, my investment probably come back about 300 plus times from the courses. You can't put into words. Your events are by far the best I've ever been to. I've been to ESI, I've been to Hoffman, I've been to all of Tony's events. Niurka plays full out, 1,000%. And one of the biggest things, we invest in our cars, we invest in so many other things. When's the last time you invested in yourself? And make that investment. I can't imagine what my life would be like if we hadn't stopped and I hadn't decided to go to the course. And I had actually booked another full block of Tony courses, and I just knew I had to be there, completely transform my life. And so make that investment in yourself, your kids, your family, whatever you can do. It's a community. The friends around the room here, like lifetime friends, you can't even put it into words. You got to do it.
Can you hear the authenticity and depth in his voice when he's like, "I can't imagine what my life would be like had I not done this experience. I can't imagine what that would be like." And what it is we don't know what we don't know. We don't know what we don't know. So Neogenesis, let me share with you the difference, little glimpse of the difference between Neogenesis and Sia. And then I've put something together very awesome and special for you. So Neogenesis is coming up. The team will put the dates in the chats. So Neogenesis is November 7th through the 10th. How soon is that? That's right down just a few days from now. A couple weeks from now. And we won't be doing it again till November 2026. So it's a 4-day total immersion transformational experience. I bring in the timeline therapy process, which is a very powerful process that I learned from Chad James. And I have an evolution of how I personally guide it. And this process is very powerful to recode negative emotions, dissolve limiting beliefs, dissolve limiting decisions, and completely recode the experience of anxiety. It's going to elicit the core values that have been driving your life up until now in one specific area. You're going to come with one area you're going to change. And that area is likely in the context in which your goal is being achieved. I'm going to come in to transform my finances. I'm going to come in to transform my health and vitality and physical body. If you guys were to pick one area in your life that would be the portal to a bigger transformation, which area would you pick that has been present for you that would create the most meaningful quantum leap in your life? Would it be finances? Would it be health and vitality? Would it be your relationship with your children, your spouse? Would it be your relationship with yourself? How many of you, it's your relationship with yourself that would make the biggest impact? Share with me in the chats if you could transform one area, which is it that comes up for you? I'm curious. It says business CEO, relationship with my boys. There you go. Finances. Okay. What else? A limiting belief. Okay. There you go. Awesome. So Neo is very focused. You come in with one area, which is my portal, the portal of transformation. I guide you precisely to liberate subconscious blocks in this area and create a new beginning. Neogenesis is all about a new beginning in the area you selected. New beginning in your finances, new beginning in your relationship with your children, new beginning in your business, a new beginning in your life. You receive a very detailed, in-depth questionnaire, comes directly to me. You get a detailed course manual, like a complete course manual that guides you through the processes, the scripts, the entire teaching. It is an in-depth manual. And you're also going to get bonuses. I'm going to actually give you the bonus of, this one says manifest your vision, but the bonus I'm going to give you is the power of questions. So you're going to get the complete teaching on the power of questions to support you in this. So there's no replays there. That was a typo. Apologies for that. So you get the power of questions teaching, and all of our courses, including both of the ones that I'm talking to you about today, are 100% guaranteed. I am so certain about the value and the transformation that you are going to receive as a result of this experience that I make it 100% guaranteed, zero to lose. If by the end of day 3, it's a 4-day course. If at the end of day 3, you don't feel you received your value's worth, we literally refund your investment. So here is the investment for SIA, or excuse me, for Neogenesis. Give me one moment. Okay. Drum roll, please. Can you guys give me a drum roll while I get my slides together? Okay. Oh my goodness, where is this slide? Let's see here. There it is. Okay. So here's what we've put together. Before I even show this to you, because it's taking me a second, how much would that be worth to be guided to release negative emotions, limiting beliefs, limiting decisions, anxiety, and creating a new beginning in your life? I would say it's priceless. Who's a graduate of Neo that's had a very powerful experience who's in the room? We're not going to have chances to share, but who's a graduate? Let's take a look. Okay, there's a few graduates in the room. Awesome. They're back because it's been a powerful experience. So here's what we've put together for you today, and the team's going to drop a link, not yet, just in a moment. So it's Neogenesis, Create a New Beginning, November 7th through the 10th, live virtual experience. The course is normally $49.97. The value is priceless. You get a detailed questionnaire that you're going to fill out at least a week before you arrive, so that I sit with your questionnaire preparing for your arrival to customize the experience to ensure that it is most meaningful for you. Yeah, if you're a graduate of Neo and you want to share some thoughts in the chats, please do. I'm sure it would support everyone who's in the room that's experienced this for the first time. So you're going to receive a manual. You're going to receive guidance to create the new beginning, all the things that I just shared with you to dissolve negative emotions, limiting beliefs, limiting decisions at the root. The investment, like I said, is over $6,000, okay, for both of those. And when you take action today, we actually have several bonuses and exciting things because we believe in rewarding action. Action is where goal achievement happens. Action is where goals accelerate and come through to fruition. So you are receiving over 50% on this entire package when you take action today, which means it's only $24.97. And for $24.97, you receive the full 4 days. We go from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m., the customized questionnaire that comes directly to me. In addition to that, as a bonus, we're going to give you 3 months in Manifestors Alliance, which is our monthly membership. This is to support you in staying consistent. We're going to meet every week between now and the end of January, every week, where you're going to have an hour of power. I'm going to be right there to support you. Let me tell you a little bit more about the membership. So you're coming to Neogenesis. We're setting the stage to release those old limiting beliefs, limiting decisions, anxiety. Then you're part of the membership. In the membership, we're meeting every week for an hour of power. We're going to have a specific theme that's going to support this goal fulfillment. Okay. Then the second Thursday of every month, I'm going to meet with you to do live Q&A and coaching. So you're going to have an opportunity to bring your questions. Who would love to be coached on your goal, where you can come to a place that's just Q&A, and I'm going to coach you on what you've been navigating? Hey, Niurka, I approached my prospect this way, and here's the feedback I got. Hey, here's my sales page. Here's what I'm doing. Is this working? Is this not? Who would love to have hands-on coaching on your specific goal achievement? Raise your hands to the heavens and say yes. Okay. Coaching is where it's at. The most extraordinary achievers all have coaches. Then the third Wednesday of the month, I usually bring in a special guest, someone that aligns with this goal achievement. And then the fourth Wednesday of the month, we do breakout rooms where you're going to have an opportunity to go share with your classmates, get support. There are people in this room that can support you in your goal achievement. I was reading one of the questionnaires. There's somebody in the room that wants to be in Hollywood. They want to be in movies. Well, one of our members that shows up every week, he literally texted me today because he couldn't be in today's session because he's on a movie set. He was here yesterday. He's a guy that literally puts people in movies, and he's in the same room. So there's a community here that you're going to begin to get to know that is going to support you in these goal achievements. So the investment is only $24.97. We also have actually, we don't have installment plans because this one's coming up in 2 weeks. We usually have installment plans, but this one's coming up in 2 weeks. Who has someone in their life that who's not in our community, someone you know, friend, spouse, team member, that you would love to gift this experience to? Who's got somebody that you say, I'd love to give this to somebody as a gift? Anybody? Because the people you hang out with influence your goal achievement more than anything else. The people you surround yourself with. Who's got somebody that you'd love to give a gift to come with you to this experience? Let me take a look by show of hands. Boy, who would like to have more friends? Okay, that's what the membership is going to be great. So here's the thing. When you take action by midnight tonight, we have a fast action bonus. Fast action bonus. Take action by midnight tonight, and you can bring a guest who is new to the community. And we do this to support you and your friends, and also to grow the power and the impact of this work. So when you invest and take action by midnight tonight, you get to invite someone. So not only is it 50% off the investment, that brings it down, if you take into consideration the gift, to like 25% of the actual retail investment. Is that awesome? You guys excited about bringing a guest? Actually, there is 2 installments. My team just texted me and they said there's 2 installments. That's how generous we are. I'm going to just say that. Does anyone know anyone else that would do 2 installments, meaning that you can make 1 payment installment, come to the course, and you haven't even paid in full yet? I didn't even realize that. Carmen just texted me that. She's like, hey, we got 2 installments. Okay. So we have an installment plan to support you, especially if one of your goals is financial. Awesome. If you have any questions about Neogenesis specifically, please raise your hand emoji. I just want to make sure everybody's clear so you can make the best decision for you. Okay. And then, yes, the team's going to drop the link in a moment. First, I'm going to share with you about Supreme Influence so you see the comparison. Actually, the team can go ahead and drop the link right now so you could see it. So Neogenesis is coming up, like I said, in just a couple weeks. The other course we have is called Supreme Influence in Action. Supreme Influence in Action is a communication mastery and NLP training course. How important is communication in the context of you achieving your goal? How important is it how you communicate with your prospects, your clients, your joint venture partners, your investors, yourself? Communication is essential. The quality of your life mirrors the quality of your communication. When you elevate your communication, you elevate your entire life. So these 2 courses, they can be taken individually. When you take them together, it amplifies their power. And like I said, I'm going to share with you how you could experience Supreme Influence right now with the replays from last year. So Supreme Influence in Action is a course to elevate and transform the way you think, speak, and live. Let me share with you this distinction about the two of them so you can decide which one would be best for you, or it would be both. If you have something from the past that shows up in the present that doesn't serve you, takes you out of alignment, out of your power, anyone relate to that? Neogenesis will guide you to the root of whatever that block is to create a breakthrough. So something from the past showing up in the present, Neo's the way to go. If you've had disempowering thoughts like I'm not good enough, or I can't do this, or whatever that may be, Neo is the way to go. And it's going to accelerate as you're practicing power questions and everything you learned here today with Neo. Sia, Supreme Influence in Action, is about giving you the most tools and techniques to step into empowering behaviors, access empowering mindsets, take consistent focused action in the direction of your goals and dreams, access and anchor and integrate empowering states. Who's a coach or you work with others? So you'd love to not only go through this training for yourself, you'd like to go to this training to support the work that you do with others. Okay. I'll show another case study in the VIP room just because I want to be mindful of our time. We have so many coaches that have skyrocketed their business, not just because of the mindset shifts and strategies within themselves, also because they've received an entire toolkit that they can then apply to their own clients. So SIA is going to give you scripts. It's going to give you processes, transformational techniques, transformational scripts, step by step by step. You've got a disempowering habit. You want to transform that habit. Here's the script. The way I teach is let's say I'm doing a teaching on how to dissolve disempowering habits. I'm going to ask the question like, what's a disempowering habit that you'd like to do for the very last time today? Then I'm going to teach a teaching on it, give you a technique. Then I'm going to do a live demonstration. You're going to see me guide someone in the room who's been looping a disempowering habit, and you're going to see me guide that person in the room in real time to breakthrough. Then you're going to receive a script of exactly what I did. Okay? You're going to receive a script. So you're going to be able to see step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4. So you're going to watch the transformation in action. You're going to receive the script. We're going to do a debrief on the script. Then you're going to have an opportunity to practice that technique with others in a breakout room. See, we didn't have time to do the breakout rooms here because it's like 90 minutes. We're giving you tastes. But in the immersion course, we've got 9 hours a day, well, with a lunch break. How many of you learn by doing? Like it's something to see something, but when you're actually doing it, you're practicing it, you're helping somebody else get it, the learning integrates. If that's you, put me in the chats. There you go. That's what happens in these courses, okay? So you observe it, you learn it, you get the script, you're guided through it, we debrief the script, you go into breakout rooms. Oh, one other step, I guide the entire room as well. Before you go into the breakout rooms, I guide the entire room. I don't only guide the demonstration. I do the demonstration, I guide the entire room, you get the scripts, you go into the breakout room, and then we come out and we debrief. How does that sound? It's designed to make sure that the teaching integrates for the greatest impact, the greatest breakthrough. So you learn visually, you learn kinesthetically, you learn with all, what we say in NLP, all the modalities. You learn in a way that ensures results. So here's what you receive from SIA. When you take action right now, you're going to receive the replays from this year, 2025. In addition to immediately getting the replays, you're going to receive the live training next year. So the live training next year is July 23rd, 24th, 25th, and 26th. We only do it once a year. So in addition to the 4-day training, once 2026 happens, we'll swap out your replays. So you're going to also get the replays for 2026. 2025 replays go away, you get your new replays. How cool is that? That's 2 sets of replays. Super awesome. 2 different, and every group is different because the audience is different, the group is different. So the course is normally $49.97. The questionnaire, which comes directly to me to customize the experience for you. People have profound breakthroughs with the questionnaire itself, is $9.97. You get the replays for 2025, then we swap them out for 2026, and then we give you a 30-day integration guide where you have a short 10-minute power practice every day for 30 days to create integration. And you also earn hours towards your certification for those of you that are inspired to become certified. I'm curious, how many of you are inspired to become certified? If you are, say yes in the chats. If certification in NLP and certification in these other powerful bodies of work is important to you. Some of you are already on the journey of certification. I know Keith is, for example. I know Simon is. Okay, awesome. That opportunity is here. So you receive all this, plus we give you the 3 months of the Manifestor's Alliance. So we're together once a week, every week for an hour of power. This is consciously designed for ultimate breakthrough with just the right touch points. The investment for all of it is over $7,000. When you take action today, it's only $24.97. Since the course is next year, there's a very generous installment plan for those of you that that's important for you. Otherwise, you could just take care of it this year and have it as a write-off for 2025. And when you take action by midnight tonight, you also get to bring a guest. So the investment here cuts in half. You get to bring a guest. They're new to the community. That's the only criteria. They've never been in our system. New people. We're all about empowering new friends. Okay. Any questions before I share with you one final thing? Any questions about Sia or Neo? I want to make sure all questions are answered. Okay. No question. If you've got a question, raise your hand emoji. Okay, I'm going to do one final short case study. Then I'll share with you one final thing we've put together, because we have put together a combo. We've put together a combo for those of you that are ready to go all the way and do both. We have something extra special for you, Guy.
Yeah, I just want to say I've seen a couple people commented yesterday and again today about, I wish I could afford it. I need this, or something along those lines. How would you address that?
If someone feels like I wish they could afford it, what question are you asking yourself? What question are you asking yourself? And how can you switch the question? How can I create even more value right now where generating $2,000 or $3,000 is something that happens instantly, quickly? How can I create even more value? What can I learn from this that would cause this investment to be insignificant in light of what I received? Let me ask you this. What could you receive in your life that by you receiving it would make that investment truly insignificant? If you knew that you received releasing something that's been with you maybe for many years, what would that be worth? And how many times, here's the thing, we've talked about how the subconscious mind is amenable to suggestion. If someone says, I can't afford it, what message are they giving their subconscious mind? And where else is that showing up? And what would it be worth to transform that? Let me give you one example. We had a gentleman come into our course years ago. His name was Troy Hoffman. And he's happy for me to share these stories because he's been with our community for decades. When Troy came to me, he was overweight. He was stuck in business. He was very, very challenged. His health was not on point. And he came to Sia and he took the techniques. He would literally go with his workbook to his classmates and go, hey, can you practice the script on page 5? And he took it and he applied it over and over and over again. He had a major, colossal breakthrough. And this is the final case study I'm going to share here with you today. And then we'll keep the party going in the VIP room. He had a massive breakthrough. Now he's a deep part of our community. He's actually gone through the experience more than once. He got in the best shape of his life. He's in the best shape of his life right now, married his sweetheart, beautiful, amazing woman. His company hit the 3 times on the Inc. 500 list, 171st fastest growing company in the United States. Now he has a business that helps founders with an exit strategy, because he's been able to exit his own business and he doesn't ever have to work another day in his life. He's doing it because he loves it. Now he coaches other founders, and he's been on my stage. He went from being a student to excelling at such a high level that I led a course called Purposeful Leadership in Cancun last year. And I called him and I invited him. I said, hey, do you want to come on my stage and share your story of this massive transformation and breakthrough? And he was like, yeah. And he came and we had dinner together. He actually picked me up at the airport. It was a wonderful connection. We have an amazing community here. So here's what Troy says about his experience and the impact that it made. Check it out.
If you feel that calling, like, oh, this is interesting, I feel like this might be something, yes, take the leap, do it. Like, this is your opportunity, because it's that voice inside of you that's guiding you. Spend the money, spend the time, do the investment, because you're going to be a different person by the time you come out. The only thing that's going to change is right here, and it's not going to happen unless you and get in the right environments, get with the right training, get with the right leaders, and that's where Niurka is a very specific gift, has a very specific tool. She's a very specific set of tools that she can use that transform people's lives, and it's not like the first time she's done this. I mean, I'll bring this out, but Niurka's been doing this for a very long time. She's very talented at what she does. She's very precise. I mean, I think you've been doing this since you were 18, so I'm not going to say anything else, but like, she's been doing it a while, and she's impactful when you get around her. I mean, at that level of depth, I mean, and you're all day, all night doing this stuff, it's a different game. It just is.
So huge transformation from overweight, unhealthy, struggling with business, not having success in relationships, complete, total transformation. So here is the best offer that we've put together. You ready for our final grand finale? Drum roll, everybody, and then we'll spin the wheel. If you remind me to spin the wheel, we'll spin the wheel, because we talked about that yesterday. I almost forgot. So the best offer we have is our combo. This is the greatest value. Is you get Neogenesis November 7th through the 10th, and you get Supreme Influence in Action. So we're stacking this transformation. You also get 3 months of Manifestors Alliance. We're going to be together every week. Can you see how this is so consciously created to ensure that you hit this 90-day goal and grow from there? I'm talking weekly check-in points, plus these total immersion courses. You're going to receive the entire experience, which is over $13,000. The investment for all of that right here, right now, today is only $3,997 for everything, for total immersion Neogenesis, for the questionnaires, for the guidance all the way to the roof, for the manuals with all of the scripts, for SIA, the replays immediately in your dashboard, what we have today, the Alliance, all of it. And we have installment plans. And I'm so certain about the value you're going to get that it's 100% guaranteed. 100% guaranteed. Zero to lose. That's the other thing I would say to them. Guys, you got nothing to lose. You have nothing to lose and everything to gain. If by the end of day 3 you haven't gotten your values worth, let the team know. It doesn't happen because it's that powerful. So the team will drop the link. Who's feeling it? Like if someone gave you a ticket, if you were the lucky one where someone gave you a ticket, who would be like so thrilled? Like, yeah, I'm coming. Who's in that place? Okay. If you'd love a ticket, invest in yourself. An investment in yourself pays the greatest return. I'm seeing Carol smiling. Carol's been with me for years. Such a beautiful impact. Carol's been to Neo how many times, Carol? Like 2 or 3 at least. 3 times to Neo. So it's very, very impactful. Alana's been there many, many times. The impacts are profound. We're going to keep the party going in the VIP room. Click the link. Trust that this is the most powerful next step. Trust that there's nothing to lose. You're surrounded by a community that loves you. Trust that I'm going to be there every step of the way. I'm going to be reading your questionnaires, taking them to heart, and I'm going to be ready to guide you step by step through your own personal breakthrough and transformation. I love you guys. Let's take a selfie. How about that? Of our class, and let's spin the wheel. What do you say? Got to take a selfie so we could see the before of what happened in the VIP room. So let's take everybody up. Turn your cameras on. Make sure all those cameras are on. We're taking our selfie. Here we go. Oh. some enthusiasm in the body. Come on, like celebration time. Okay, so I want you to feel the goal is achieved. It is already done. Today is January 22nd, 2026. How does your body look in the state of victory? Let's take a look. All right, you guys, now we're spinning the wheel. Let's see, Barbara Campbell, are you here? You always show up with great energy. And then Julie, keep that hand up. I'll be happy to take your question. Is Barbara Campbell here? Let's see. Okay, I'm gonna pick them. You got to get ready to. Who's new? Who's here for the very first time? This is your first experience with me. Let me take a look. Who's new? Okay, Julie, you're new? This is your first. You get to spin the wheel, Julie. Okay, let's spin the wheel. So here's the thing. Look at all these amazing things on the wheel. The grand prize is Neogenesis or Sia. You ready? One.
Okay.
Julie gets 3 months of Manifestors Alliance, which you're going to get anyways with the course, which means you would have 6 months when you take action today of the membership program. We're together every week for an hour of power. Awesome. So what was your question, Julie?
You know, the computer raised my hand for me.
Oh, look at that. See?
I just want to say thank you.
Oh,
Don't have a question. I would love to be in your hemisphere. So thank you. And
I'm so thrilled you're here. I'm so thrilled you're here. Welcome to our amazing community. It is a conscious community of love, and you are so welcome. And we'd love to take that next step with you and go all the way, because each one of you has a gift. And imagine what the world would be like when all of us are shining our light and shining our gift at the highest level of excellence and service to others in a way that creates beauty and prosperity and impact. That's what this is about. So before we close out this room, are there any questions about Sia? Are there any questions about Neo? Are there any questions about the combo? Take action now. Tony said to me when I was 19, he said, Niurka, it's in your moments of decision that your destiny is shaped. This is a destiny defining moment. People literally describe their life before Neo or before Sia and after Sia. It's that impactful. It is one of those destiny moments. So with all the love in my heart, I encourage you to take action right here, right now. The team just dropping the link. We're going to be in the VIP room in 15 minutes. The team will stick around in case anybody has some questions. You can ask the team before we hop over to the VIP room. I love you all. I'm inspired and grateful to be here with you. I can't wait to see you on the next step. If you're not in the VIP room, you can still take action. You're going to get the replays, and then you get the advanced teaching we're going to do today. So with love in my heart, I declare Achieving Big Goals complete, and we are celebrating in January at the membership. I wasn't kidding about that. In the membership, we are having a specific celebration to recognize your goals and check in with you. So unmute yourself and let's hear your beautiful voices from around the world.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Happy birthday.
I'm thankful for you, Niurka. You're the best. Amazing.
Yes, already achieved.
Thank you.
Yes.
See you
Awesome,
next
Niurka.
week's
Thank
time.
you.
Success achieving the past, realizing the future.
We're achieving now. Thank you.